really deep dive into the machine, see atoms, and we manipulate atoms with lasers, and you see everything in this VR.
That was easy. So I just met with Now I said Pascal.
Yes, we say PASQAL. PASQAL. Yes.
Yeah, so I just met with Christophe from PASQAL. And I'm very eager to learn what you're doing here because I saw this VR headset. And of course, this is not like a central part of your business, I guess. But since we have a lot of enthusiasts for VR, I must ask, what are you doing here?
You're perfectly right. PASQAL is a quantum company. We are developing a full stack approach. It means that we are developing at the same time the hardware and the software. And in the VR, for instance, we are showing a machine and you can really deep dive into the machine, see atoms, because our technology is based on atoms, and we manipulate atoms with lasers, and you see everything in this VR.
But is it like a simulation, or are you actually showing what is happening with when you deploy the laser?
In the VR, this is a typical simulation.
Okay.
But in the reality, we are developing and we are manufacturing a real machine that we are going to deliver this year, by the end of this year, one in France and the other one in Germany.
Okay.
So it's a reality.
Yeah. What industries are this for? Is this for?
Today we can operate in different verticals, I would say, but we have deeply worked in a finance use case where we demonstrated that we can be at an equivalent with on a risk management use cases with an equivalent of production solving, and we did exactly the same with our method based on quantum algorithm, and we implemented this algorithm on the machine, and we found exactly the same result, exactly same things with 10 times less of energy consumption needed to run the code. So and another example maybe is on healthcare. We use in fact method like machine learning, quantum machine learning, for instance, to compare two structures of molecules and find a toxicity between two molecules. So this is examples that we could implement today.
This is actually one of the terms that I heard a lot of on this conference, like quantum machine learning. Is this a new field of research, or was I just not aware of that this is the thing?
It's not really a new thing because we use exactly the same method as AI as an example, but we train and we use some piece of code, and we embedded this piece of code into a classical approach of machine learning. That's why we are saying that this is a quantum machine learning, but mainly used on an hybrid approach.
And how old is your company? Is this like a new thing? Are you a startup, or are you long established?
We can say that PASQAL was born in 2019. Today we are almost 200 people at PASQAL with at least 30 customers already. So I don't know if we can say that we are a startup or a scale-up, but we raised 100 million 1 year ago now on Series B. So
And this is also something very strange, or something that is very different to other industries. When you talk about customers, there are no real-life applications yet for quantum technologies, right? Is this purely research, or are the things that you are developing are actually in production?
No, as I said, we are working on real use cases with our customer. As I said, finance, healthcare, logistics are really relevant use cases that we could implement right now. So we are not at the stage where we can say that this is on a production mode, but we are exactly developing what a machine could implement in the near future. Our technology was imagined by the last Nobel Prize of Physics. That is a French guy. So Alain Aspect. So from in the 90s, he developed some features that we implement today. So thanks to that. I can't really explain everything in a science approach, but I could say for sure that it's a really strong machine.
So Okay. And you mentioned that you are developing the hardware and the software at the same time. What would you say is the more challenging part, or that thing that makes you more headaches?
On the hardware side, the most difficulty part is to industrialize the approach, because we were a startup a few years ago, maybe months ago.
Yeah.
But we need to define everything regarding what is an industrial process in order to build a real machine. So this is one not an issue, but one topic. On the software side, maybe the most difficulty part is to have the right people or the right profile at PASQAL, because this is a war.
Yeah.
Really, to get the right profile. In order to develop everything, because we are developing all the stack. So we need developer and a full stack. Yeah. So this is maybe one of the most difficulty we have today.
But good that you mentioned that, because I talked to a lot of Europeans here at the conference, and traditionally it's always the US companies who have the technological lead on AI and everything. But with Quantum, I have the feeling that there's a very strong community here in Germany. Here in Europe. Not Germany, here in Europe, and we talk to Danish people and French people, and I feel that there's actually a big stronghold. Do you see that our European technology here is in a real competitive status to the US companies?
Definitely yes.
Yeah.
And just to give you an example of figures about that, at PASQAL we have maybe at least 20 different nationality, and majority came from Europe.
Yeah.
So we are really proud of that, but our scientists in Europe are really strong, so we can compete with the US.
And how do you feel regarding the upcoming years? I feel that the number of news headlines around quantum computers is rising. There's happening more and more in this realm. Do you feel that the upcoming years will explode in quantum technologies, and will there be like a big upstream, or are we now at like the hype peak?
No, this is just the beginning of the journey. Just to give you again some example, today we are commercializing a machine around 100 qubits. By the end of the year, we will have a 1,000 qubits machine, and we think that we could reach a quantum advantage with this Gen 2 machine. But again, this is just the beginning. Because in order to explore every use cases, we know that we will need maybe thousands and thousands qubits.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for the insights. I'm looking forward to learning more about all the different applications of quantum technology. It is really amazing.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
Thank you.